Hello my friends, my name is Begum and I help people embrace their authentic self. Today's topic is all about how to be 100% right in every situation, in every action that you take, in every decision that you make by just listening to your authentic self. So yes, I'm not exaggerating. It is possible. Just make sure this one thing and you can never go wrong. My friends, sometimes we want to take certain actions towards a certain goal. Sometimes we want to get the message across to the person sitting next to us or to our partners, or in a work situation. Sometimes we need to get a desired outcome about our body shape or the perfect relationship that we want to be in, or the abundant financial situation, establish our own business, but things do not go in our way, or at least we feel that things are not going in our way. Why? Because most of the time, probably we are not in alignment, we are not in full alignment. Sometimes we say, but I'm taking the actions, I want to lose weight and I'm taking the actions. And I'm like going to the gym, I'm like trying to eat healthy. But are you really feeling it? Are you really feeling and trusting yourself that you will lose weight? Can you really feel the version of yourself in a perfect body shape? Do you really feel it? Do you really feel that you can do it? Or are you sure that you're thinking the certain thoughts towards this goal? Like, are you talking down to yourself? Like, oh, look at this belly, look at this terrible body. I don't think that I can do this. Or you're still thinking the same thoughts that you are in this terrible body shape, instead of thinking that, yes, I'm confident, I'm getting there, I'm confident, I will be thinking the certain thoughts that I needed to be thinking. What about this version of me having this perfect body shape would be thinking? Or for example, we're in a work situation and we say that people don't get me. I'm not happy right now with the outcome, I'm not happy with the decision right now, but people don't get me. Because you're feeling a certain way, you're thinking in a certain way. Obviously your feelings and thinkings are not in alignment and not actually supporting the decisions, or you're not even happy about being in this environment, being in an environment, but your actions are not saying the same. Your actions say the totally opposite. You're there, you kind of try to be the good team player still, even though you feel or think in a different way, because you're afraid to lose your job probably. And then you complain that people do not get me, people do not understand, people do not give me the raise, people do not give me treat me the way how I deserve to be treated. Because you are thinking and feeling in a certain way and you're acting in a certain way. My friends, if we want to get the desired outcomes in every decision or in every situation in our life, we need to make sure that we are feeling in a certain way, we are thinking the thoughts in a certain way and acting in a certain way towards the desired outcome. You have to feel the certain feelings, you have to think the certain thoughts, and you have to take the certain actions towards your goal in order to be successful in every situation. By just being authentic to yourself. For example, if I want to be successful on YouTube, what do I need to do? I need to first of all feel it. I need to feel that successful YouTuber version of myself and how she will be thinking. She will be thinking happy, she will be thinking, enthusiastic about the contents that she will be creating every day. She needs to trust herself, she needs to be happy about where she is, because she's having the dream life already. She's a successful YouTuber right now. I need to feel it. I need to feel the joy that I will be thinking when I'm doing it, when I'm there. First of all, you need to feel it right now. You need to be it. You need to be the version of you. You need to be the version that you want to be in order to get there, first of all. You can't do things, or you can't make this, or you can't have things in order to get the desired outcomes. You need to be it. You need to be that version. Feel it. Feel that you're already there. Feel the feelings, feel the joy, the same joy that you are living right now. You're living in this perfect relationship. You're having this abundance. You're enjoying the perfect body shape right now. Feel it. How would you be feeling it? And then I need to think the certain thoughts. As being a successful YouTuber, I need to spend some time the night before on my content. I need to create my content. I need to make sure that I'm ready what I will talk about the next day. And the next morning when I wake up, I can't be lazy. I just have to, after meditating, stretching, whatever it is, I need to record my videos. My mind constantly needs to think those thoughts. What I'm gonna do the next morning. Okay, what kind of content that I will talk about the next morning. I wake up. Okay, what I'm gonna do. I will stretch and then I will record my video because this is my priority right now. I can't continue doing the old same things or the same feelings that I was thinking a month ago. I can't. Or I just can't think the old thoughts that I used to be thinking a month ago and accept that things will change. And the action, what I'm doing, I am taking the action. I'm recording this video. I'm waking up early. In the past, I can wake up around like 8, 9, so I don't have to open the laptop until like 10 because the meetings will start by then. But now, no, that version is old. That version is died. The new version is to wake up early, feel a certain way, enthusiastic, think the certain thoughts that I need to, full-time YouTuber, what would this version of me will be thinking, and then act in a certain way. Take the action, make the videos. This is the most important thing in life, my friends. Don't worry. The actions or the decisions that you make with this mindset, feeling, thinking, and acting a certain way, alignment, you can never go wrong. Even if you go wrong, know that this is the life experience. This is the life experience. This is the failures that will put you into the path that you're supposed to be in. Believe me, my friends, the job that we need to live, the relationship that we need to live, and not the job that is not giving us the satisfaction that we need. It's not serving its purpose anymore, and the relationship that we need to leave because it's toxic, and not making the decisions in order not to fail, is actually failure. Taking the action, jumping into another relationship, maybe it will be again not the perfect one, but learning the lessons and then moving on is better than staying in the old same toxic relationship. Or the same thing for the job situation as well. Leave that job, earn your respect, and say no to this shitty situation, and then go into another job. Maybe that job will not be the perfect environment for you, but at least you're in the path. You're in the path of, failing and learning and failing and learning. And then that failures will take you in your unique path, which is your destiny. Because you have to fail, learn, and the longer we wait for the failure, then the longer that it will take, that it will take us to come back into this original path to our destiny. So that's why, my friends, the actions or the actions that we take or the decisions that we make cannot go wrong if we listen to our authentic self. If we feel the certain feelings, if we think the certain thoughts, and if we act in a certain way, people will get us. They may not be happy. This is not our responsibility to make anyone happy. They may not be happy about it, but they will get us. So you won't be complaining anymore if you feel, think, and act in a certain way and take those decisions, make those decisions and take those actions from that solid ground. Nobody will get you wrong. They may not be happy, but they will understand you. They will understand the reason why you take those actions. Or in your initiatives, if you feel it, if you think the certain thoughts, if you think the thoughts that the perfect version of yourself will be thinking, if you feel the certain feelings that the perfect version of yourself will be feeling, and if you take the necessary actions that will get you there, if you be that version and take the actions, you can never go wrong, my friends.